Hey gamers, Maniac here with GameAccess.net doing a late night video. This is another video review just after I've seen a movie. It's been a while since we've done one of these because it's been a while since I've been in a movie theater. And on top of that, there were a couple of reasons why I wanted to do this one. Particularly because I felt the movie was of no consequence. There are certain movies that I guess you would say are must-sees because they elevate what art is. There are certain movies you must see because they're well acted, they're well directed. There's something in them that's unique that you haven't seen in other films. And then there's just movies where, darn, they're just enjoyable to watch. Venom, Let There Be Carnage is one of those. Now, I can chalk it up to, I would say the same thing about the first film. I think that there's stuff that's going for this movie. That we're going for the first movie that this movie unfortunately cannot claim. I truly, honestly believe that the first movie, and I'm not going to say it was a fluke, but I'm going to say that interest in the movie was kind of peaked because it was riding very high on the success of the PS4 Spider-Man game. Basically, PS4 Spider-Man game came out. The DLC was in the interim of either wrapping up or it was people were waiting for it, but people wanted more Spider-Man when that game came out. More so than I could say about any other Spider-Man thing going on at that time or in its history. I mean, okay, sure. When the Spider-Man movies came out, back when the original Spider-Man movies came out, people wanted more of that. But this was something we hadn't seen in a while. I remember when the Amazing Spider-Man movies came out, that didn't have, there was really no rush to see a sequel or something like that. Even with Andrew Garfield, with the Tom Holland movies, there were interest in seeing him return, absolutely. But we knew he was going to be returning in the Avengers movies, Infinity War and Endgame. We knew those films were going to happen. So there was no, like when Homecoming came out, I mean, we loved Homecoming. Homecoming was a great film. I enjoyed it, but I knew I was going to see him in Infinity War. So there was no rush for me to see him in his own standalone movie. But after after playing Spider-Man PS4, I wanted to see I wanted to see anything Spider-Man new. And I've already seen, Homecoming, and Spider-Verse wasn't out yet, although that would also have satisfied it. This movie doesn't have that. I know that everybody's looking forward to Spider-Man 2 for the PS5 coming out. It's happening. So people are more than willing to wait for this. Venom 2 does not have that. What Venom 2 does have is Woody Harrelson being completely crazy for an hour and 40 minutes. And that's enough. That's enough for me. To see him tangle with Tom Hardy, who is... They decided to play up the romance on the rocks. Not between him and Anne, but between him and Venom. And they capped it off with something I dare not spoil, which can pretty much rewrite the history of what's going to be going on with the future Spider-Verse films, certainly. It's not the greatest film I've ever seen. It's not even one of the best films I've seen this year. But was it enjoyable? Sure. Could I say that about the first movie? Sure. Would I say it's more enjoyable or less enjoyable than the last one? Kind of on a level. Maybe I like the first one a little bit better, but, I might need to see it a second time to get my levels up. But can I be honest? There's something about Woody Harrelson in this movie. It's like you watch him a couple of moments and you're just like, oh man, you can just imagine that in the background, Andy Serkis would be saying to him, okay, Woody, that was a great take. And Woody would say in response, wait, you were filming that, Andy? But then again, I could say that about a lot of his roles. I don't know. There's a few guys in film that I could say could play a psychopath on film, on screen, as well as Woody Harrelson. Obviously, you can make your Natural Born Killers references here. But he pulls it off. And the only other person I could think of that could consistently play a psycho just so well is Craig Bierko. And if you don't know who that is, I'm sure most people remember him from The Long Kiss Goodnight, I think it was. But you got to watch The 13th Floor. You got to watch The 13th Floor, really. This was not intended to be a big video. This was not intended to be something long. Are my interests piqued for future films? First off, I want to say that this was not a movie that had just one villain in it. It had a second villain, one that I was not expecting. As somebody that enjoyed the Spider-Man ride in Universal Studios Orlando, I can attest that character is there. I did not see them in the way that I expected to see them from the comics, but it's possible in the future we may see them that way. That is certainly teased. There was another teaser, kind of like I will equate it to kind of a teaser end like the Incredible Hulk had that never got paid off in the Avengers films, and who knows if it'll get paid off here, or maybe you'll have to go watch Morbius for that sort of thing. I don't know. Is it made me any more or less interested in Morbius? No, I probably will go see Morbius, but I don't know about having to absolutely go see it. Was it meant to make me more interested in seeing the next Spider-Man film? Absolutely. Absolutely. But then again, I was piqued to go see that anyway. So we'll see what happens. Well, the next major film is probably going to be Marvel's Eternals. After that, it's probably going to be either Ghostbusters or it's going to be, what else is coming? Or it's going to be Spider-Man, obviously. So we'll see how the rest of the year pans out. Till next time, guys, my name is Maniac with GameAccess.net. Take care. Over and out.